Hi guys, happy autumn. So I'm gonna level with you guys. As much as I love this time of year, unexpectedly, I have felt extremely unmotivated and I have not felt like making content. Specifically for the past 2 weeks, if not the last month. And I say specifically the last 2 weeks because that is when I have experienced the most difficulties getting myself motivated, making myself feel like getting ready and getting in front of the camera. And when I think about it, as much as I want to say, I have no idea why I feel like this, I know exactly why I feel like this. There are several different reasons. First of all, the whole energy of the planet, specifically in the country that I live in currently, I say currently as if I'm ever gonna leave, the vibes have been off. They've been off for a long time, but especially the past month, it's been pretty heavy. And just being on the internet is very difficult. If you guys have been noticing I haven't been posting, I've been very inconsistent. Yeah, that's why. Not to say I haven't been on the internet. Nay, I have been doom scrolling my ass off, and that has also contributed to my mental health being like, grippy socks? Another thing that has been contributing to my lack of creativity is that I've been feeling the itch to get back into art, and been feeling this for a long time. Again, reoccurring thing happening for a long time, but then compounding itself into a crisis because I've been ignoring it. One thing that's been holding me back is this room has been majorly neglected. Yes, I've been filming in here more and it looks very, very nice. We have this nice little bookcase, but you notice how this is the only angle you guys see this room from? Yeah, there's reasons for that. So for this week's video, I'm finally going to solve my own dang problem and we're gonna get this room sorted out. Not just a clean, not just a little organized, but we're actually going to buckle down, get this room set up to be creative because I do want to start the same challenge that I did back in 2019 where I fill up a whole sketchbook. Funnily enough, my sketchbook tour from 2020 all of a sudden blew up on my art channel. Last time I checked, it had like 1,000 views, and then this last time I checked, it had like 17,000. I need to check it again. But yes, as much as I love photography, as much as I love decor and videos, my true love is drawing and coloring and painting and all that stuff. So I want to actually start setting myself up for success, get myself motivated and inspired. And I know you don't need a whole room dedicated to it. You don't need fancy tools and fancy materials. But for me, this room has been a physical manifestation of my avoidant nature. Because of that, it's held me back from expressing myself. So as we begin cleaning out this room, one thing I wanted to talk about is something that I alluded to before, and that is how sometimes we only tend to show the good parts of our lives, kind of like how I only show myself from this angle and not the rest of the room. On social media, there's a tendency to only show things through a filter, whether it be our face or our lives, showing things that are curated, they look aesthetic, they look nice, and also only showing the happy moments. Unless, of course, you have the people that are looking for attention or asking for help that might show a little bit of vulnerability and post about the things that aren't so happy-go-lucky. But for me, I tend to be that type of person that only shows the good things and never the bad. Probably because as I was growing up, I was told not to complain, not to be negative. Ye old statement of don't cry unless you want me to give you something to cry about. That was a philosophy that I internalized very young, and when I would try to reach out and ask for help, other people around me would remind me, don't be negative, don't complain, which I totally get that mindset because it can come off as a bit needy and a Debbie Downer and can make other people miserable. If the goal is to make other people miserable, it's definitely not a good thing, but when you're just asking for support and understanding, it's not exactly a bad thing. The other thing about this room that I feel like is very illustrative of my own tendencies is as this room hasn't been worked on, it's become a catch-all. So as I'm trying to just hide stuff away, get it out of the main living space and tidy up the rest of the house, things tend to get thrown in here and not necessarily with any rhyme or reason, just thrown on the floor. And then when I come in here, that's when I have to move things aside so that I can arrange it so I can film and it not look like a mess. This to me is a really good representation of how I have the tendency to bottle bottle up my emotions and just kind of put things away for later, that's future me's problem. We not only tend to do this with physical items, you know, throwing things in the junk drawer, throwing things in the doom closet, but also this is something that can be done emotionally, especially if we're in a position where it's not safe or it's not appropriate to show emotions. We tend to file them away for later, but then we forget to actually go back and express or process those emotions. Again, going back to my upbringing, negative emotions were not allowed, and if they were shown, they were punished. So for me, when it comes to cleaning this room, it's not just about making it more manageable, making it easier to get around and easier to find stuff, but it's also about being mindful and remembering that sometimes we not only need to clean out our physical space, but clean out our internal space as well. One thing that I've been trying to do, but obviously haven't been doing that well at, but you know, we take it one day at a time, one step at a time, is being on social media less. Now, obviously we want to be well informed and know what's going on in the world, but there comes a point where it becomes excessive and we end up doom scrolling and ruminating about all of the things that are happening that we have no control over. So one way that I've been mitigating this is, especially at night, getting off of my phone and reading books. And this has really helped me to manage my emotions and my anxiety a bit more, because I have a tendency of absorbing other people's emotions, whether they're in person or through a screen. And so when I'm constantly bombarded with doom and gloom, it does have an effect on me. So this is something that I've been trying to do, and I don't know if any of you guys have been struggling with this, but not only has reading helped me to slow down and stop my racing thoughts, but it's also just good for your neuroplasticity to learn new things and open your horizons beyond the scroll. Because when you rely upon an algorithm to feed you information, you're inevitably going to be fed something that's sensationalized that will trigger a cortisol response. Now, if you're asking, what books have you been reading? I'm planning on doing a separate video for my patrons and my channel members showing a book haul of things that I bought recently. This isn't to cut off access to you guys. This is just because these books are a bit more personal and they're not just your run-of-the-mill novels, cozy little fall reads, but they're a bit more, I don't know the word, I would say introspective. Most of them are nonfiction, historical, and have a lot to do with ancient cultures and religion, which is one of my hyperfixations. I've been kind of weaving those through self-help books as well that have tools for managing stress and anxiety and also self-discipline, along with motivation, inspiration, things of that sort. So if you would like to join my channel members or my Patreon, that will be linked down below. But just remember that the content that I upload to those platforms are merely supplemental and they're not my primary content. So don't feel bad if you're not in a position to sign up. It's just little bonuses, you know? But now I'm coming to the point of why this is so important to me and why this is crucial for me to be able to express myself creatively. One of the things that I have stashed away in this room, both metaphorically and physically, because all of my tools of the trade are stashed in here and very hard to get to, is my creativity, my drive to draw again and create illustrations and write stories. So I feel like by physically clearing this space and setting myself up to actually be able to express myself, not only does it help me do that physically because I can access my tools again and have a space to sit down, but it also in a way is clearing that mental load, all those things that I've been putting off, much like sitting down with a sketchbook. I still want to get a little cabinet to put over here to organize my sketchbooks and my art supplies, but I did endeavor to make sure everything is as organized as possible beforehand, so once I finally accomplish that, this will be even better. But I'm not going to rush myself because I want to find the best option possible that fits in this space, that optimizes my storage, but also looks nice. So this is what we're working with here. That is my fandelier thing. We're just keeping it in here for now. Haven't figured out where we're going to install it yet. Yeah, this corner is the last thing that really needs to be sorted out. Again, I can still sit down at the kitchen table or at the coffee table or in my bed to sketch. I probably will do so. I probably will not be sitting at my desk once this is all said and done to do my sketching and my painting. I've always been like that. I tend to create like a kindergartner, catch me on the floor, crisscross applesauce every single time. Doesn't matter what room. And of course, eventually I do want to rearrange this and actually make it look aesthetic and organize it better, but that's going to be for a future video. For now, everything is off the floor. I have space in here. I have space to create. I'll do a separate video of actually buckling down and finishing decorating this room. So just gonna leave this like this for now. In a way, for me, this is kind of like a clearing ceremony where I can finally clear out that mental load. And once that thorn has been removed from my flesh, that sounds a little religious, but it's not. It's just my brain. I feel like I'll be in a better mental and physical space to actually do that. And again, I'll be able to actually find my favorite pencils because I haven't been able to find them. And that's purely my fault. It's my doing. It's my avoidant tendencies. Just to interject really quick, if you are nosy and you want to see what the heck I'm doodling every day in this here sketchbook, most likely I will be posting to my Instagram stories. So that is where you would want to stalk me to hold me accountable and see if I'm actually holding up to my end of the bargain and actually drawing every day, or endeavoring to draw every day. And if this is something that you're into, if you like art, hey, let me know down below and maybe I'll revive my art channel. That is my OG channel, at least that is still standing. As we wrap this video up, I wanted to show you guys something that I recently thrifted that I'm super excited about, and that is this treasure chest. It has claw feet, it has this leather-like texture and these stitching details along the side. And I've been wanting one of these for a long time, but I've just been keeping my eye out at the thrift store waiting to find the perfect one. And I do say this one is perfect. And this chest right here just goes to show that just because you strive to be organized and together, it doesn't have to be boring. So instead of a Rubbermaid box, I got myself a treasure chest to further organize my space, because if it's one thing I'm not gonna do is give up my sense of whimsy in pursuit of being organized. Before you go, if you guys could do me a favor, if you could like the video. I know every YouTuber asks for that, but it is super important for the visibility of the video on the explore page or the suggestions page or whatever that's called. Also, if you have any thoughts about anything that I've said in this video, or if you have any suggestions or book recommendations, leave them down in the comments. That also is super helpful, getting more engagement in a video. And if you just now discovered my page and you think that I'm always like this, I'm not. So if you want cool, calm, collected Scotty who's introspective, I'm not like this always, but if you're down for chaos and just being a little hooligan, definitely hit the subscribe button because I would love to have you here. Thank you to my patrons and my channel members for supporting my channel. I really appreciate you guys. And again, if you want to join, links are down below, but it's not necessary to enjoy my content. Thank you again for being here, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.